Hello, I'm back, and basically, I'm getting to the rest of those questions that I was not able to get to in the last BS Busters because it was running a little long, and I decided to end it while I could. So let's get the rest of those questions. So, this question is from Stephen O'Brien. What undisclosed features of the Wii U do you think Nintendo are hiding up their sleeves? Also, what is your favorite release on the system thus far and why? I think that the Wii U, I think the Wii U, especially gamepad features, I think that there's stuff that they have not even touched that the gamepad can do that no one is really talking about. Or not, whatever. And what is my favorite release on the system thus far and why? That's a tough question. I know this is going to sound terrible. My favorite game on the Wii U right now, just in terms of just fun to play, is Lego City Undercover. It's a $50 game, it's a budget title, but man is that game fun, just to run around and just kill shit. It's hilarious. It's an original Lego game, and you just run around doing stuff. And I like games that you can just sit down and immerse yourself in. And I'll tell you more at the end of this about stuff like that. This next question comes from the DC Blackbird. Who I personally know. What are your thoughts on genre mixing in JRPGs, especially since they've been popular as of late, be it steampunk/fantasy, near future/urban fantasy, or whatever else? I think there's a place for all of it. There's a place for JRPGs that are like slice of life with some supernatural, aka Shin Megami Tensei or Persona. There's rule for steampunk. I haven't seen a lot of steampunk JRPGs. I guess the closest would be Skies of Arcadia Legend. That's a steampunk RPG. Maybe Rogue Galaxy is kind of a steampunk RPG, but not really. I wish there were more different blends of JRPGs, because how many times do I have to play as some generic Ikemen-looking main character who is a baby face? Like, it gets old. I personally would rather just play different. I personally wish there was more variety in these games. Okay, I hope that answers your question, DC Blackbird. This next question comes from Super Mag Machine. Hey, I really like your podcast, but I can never find time to watch them all the way through. Would you ever consider breaking up the segments into their own videos? I bet you'd get a ton more views. No, I wouldn't. Watch the whole damn thing or don't. So there. Yeah. This next question comes from Anderson Archilla. I hear people say YouTubers are essential for Nintendo's exposure, yet I've unsubscribed from many that did nothing but shit on them while playing their games. For example, Let's Play Kid Icarus Uprising consists mainly of accusing Nintendo of stealing ideas from other companies, namely Sony. Hell, one reading of IGN's The Best 125 Nintendo Games turned into a 4-hour-long rant about how they betrayed gamers everywhere. So, do these brats really matter? Look, Nintendo is just the company to hate. People like to hate on Nintendo. they like to say, well, they just, you know, because Nintendo just doesn't, Nintendo doesn't defend themselves. And the fan base of Nintendo, I mean, you've got some quote-unquote fans that hate on Nintendo just as much as, and I use fans loosely. You've got some fans that hate on Nintendo just as much as, haters of Nintendo. So really, it just boils down to how you want to look at it. Me personally, like, you can tell people who are actually fans of Nintendo, and they have credible things that they don't like about it, but they, at the end of the day, they realize that Nintendo is a business and they make pretty good games. So if you want to, I mean, I'm just going to give you 3 internet YouTube personalities that I think are real old Nintendo fans. Pat the NES Punk, Andre from Black Nerd Comedy, maybe Pro Jared. You know, that's a good sampling. All 3 of those dudes are kind of like Nintendo fans, but they have credible things they don't like about Nintendo, but on the whole, they're generally they understand why Nintendo does the things they do. And I mean, at the end of the day, that's all you can really ask for. Next question, from String Anime. I wish you could get tickets in GTA for using your Android to watch your YouTube vids while driving. It would be glorious to end up in a high-speed chase with helicopters simply for being distracted while driving. That sounds terrible, dude. That sounds god-awful, dude. I'm glad you're not a developer. I mean, you might think that's awesome, but that sounds boring. Unless if they were able to do what they did in, what was it called? What was the name of that damn game? GTA 4, where they like had like the TV shows, like the Patriot Rangers or some shit like that. That'd be kind of fun. But other than that, no. Thank you, String Anime, for that question. Anderson Archilla, what do you think of Disney's recent and future output overall? On one hand, they revitalized the superhero genre and have made some spectacular movies. On the other hand, they've made or are currently making some surefire stinkers like live-action Cinderella, Cars 3, and Frozen 2. I think that no matter what happens, Disney's gonna make a fuck ton of money over the next 5 to 10 years, because they've got Marvel, which is making tons of money, and they bought Star Wars from Lucas Arts, so they got from George Lucas. So both ways, they're gonna get a fuck ton of money either way. So yeah, no matter what happens, Disney wins. That's all you need to know. Thank you, Anderson Archilla. The next question from Anderson Archilla once again. When Spider-Man finally comes home after living under abusive conditions under Sony, will we have to have yet another origin story? At this point, people are already more familiar with the Spider Bite, Uncle Ben, more than familiar with the Spider Bite, Uncle Ben, etc. I'm with you, Anderson. At this point, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of seeing Krypton explode. I'm tired of seeing Thomas and Martha Wayne get shot. I'm tired and the pearls falling on the ground. I'm tired of Spider-Man's origin story. How many times do I have to see Uncle Ben? Peter Parker. Uncle Ben, no! Like, I'm tired of these. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired. I'm glad Sony realized we don't know how to make a fucking good Spider-Man film and put Kevin Feige in control of it, because frankly speaking, at this point, I don't trust Sony's movie division. Like, I'm pissed that they have James Bond, but other than that, at this point, it's in everyone's best interest if Spider-Man, from what I heard, Marvel's just gonna eschew the normal Spider-Man origin story. And you don't really need it because, I mean, it's part of the group psyche. It's like everyone knows Superman's origin story. Everyone knows Batman's origin story. Everyone knows Spider-Man's origin story. We don't need to see this shit anymore. So, yeah. Hope that answers your question, Anderson, once again. Okay then, our next question is, once again from Anderson Archilla. You do think Codename Steam was intentionally made to dispel the notion that Nintendo can't have a game with a diverse cast of characters? Can't get any more diverse than John Henry, Queequeg, Califia, Tiger Lily, a female Zoro, a Japanese Tin Man, and friggin' Abe Lincoln fighting as a team. Can you shame people are doing a repeat of Wonderful 101? Yeah, it is a shame. And I heard that game did not sell as well as Nintendo wanted. I don't think that it flopped spectacularly. I just think that it didn't sell as much as they wanted it to. But this is, I mean, when I hear people say, well, why don't we get new IPs from Nintendo? This is why, because people don't buy it. And I'm tired of people saying, well, they need to do, like, it's like, you need to shut the fuck up. You know, because people always come up with some excuse not to get a new IP. People want the same shit over and over and over and over. And I'm getting tired of it. So, yeah, I hope that answers your question. Okay, what would happen to the Japanese economy and I guess the world economy overall if Sony goes under? Stock markets will take a hit, but I'm pretty sure, like, it will recover in 3 to 6 months because Samsung, Panasonic, someone would come in and take their place and it'd be taken care of. So, yeah, I hope that answers all your questions. Now that I've answered all those questions, stay tuned for the second half of this video after the cut. Alright, this is the second part of this video where we'll be talking about something that's equally important as the questions I just answered, and we'll be talking about weed. No, I'm joking. As you know, today is 420, which is pot day. Actually, this is, I think 420 is actually Earth Day, but people co-opted it and turned it into pot day, or maybe Earth Day is this Wednesday, actually. Earth Day is this Wednesday. Today is pot day. I have no idea why, or I don't understand the significance of it, but I had a lot of friends in college who smoked a lot of weed, so I can appreciate it, but I can't do it. I always had jobs where if I didn't have to take a urinalysis at some point, it just was not very proper. So, you know, and I worked in politics and other jobs that were very high profile, and, you know, where they literally took a telescope and shoved it up your ass to make sure there was no dirt or grime up there and it had to come out clean. So basically, smoking weed was never an option for me. But, you know, I'm not going to be like, oh, don't smoke weed because glaucoma runs in my family, and if I get it, you can rest assured I will be getting me some weed, okay? I will be getting me some medical marijuana. Some medical marijuana. But, now that I've said that, it's time to get to the second part of this video where I'm just gonna tell you about what's coming up. Okay, so we will be doing, as you know, the end of this month we'll be doing a E3 countdown. Okay? E3 countdown, that's right. We will be doing an E3 countdown. So, this Friday at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we'll be doing a E3 countdown. So this Friday, part of a five-part series. Each part will be us talking about what do we think is going to happen at E3. So this Friday is going to be just our general overview, what we expect from Microsoft, Sony, third parties, Nintendo, etc. What we expect, what we don't expect, what we think is going to happen. And then every Saturday after that, here, let me check my calendar, because so on May 2nd, we'll be doing one about basically what do we think Microsoft is going to be doing. May 9th, we'll be doing Sony. May 16th, we'll be doing Microsoft, Sony, third parties. May 23rd, we'll be doing my personal favorite, Nintendo. And the 30th, well, I have no idea. We'll figure out something. It'll be fly by the seat of our pants. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I might also do a podcast on May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo! Cinco de Mayo, which is Mexican Independence Day, because I took Spanish for like 6 years, including high school and college. So, yeah. Any excuse to drink a lot of beer and Mexican food. Enchiladas, tacos, and burritos. And tortillas, horchata, all that type of good stuff. So, yeah, I might do something to think. Maybe. Probably not. So, yeah. So that's what's coming up. Remember, once again, if you have any questions, leave them here. That you want me to answer, leave them right here. Put them in the thing. Also, I will contact people if you want to be, if you want to record any, just like 5-10 minute interview, put on GTA, PC version. I might record these and upload them on the Rockstar editor. So if you hear your voice while I'm doing this on YouTube, there you go. So yeah, that's it. Good night.